Headlines most affecting Abbotsford this week. The BC United stops their campaign dead in their tracks. Mission Mounties making an arrest in mailbox thefts. Your rent increase will not be more than last year, and a national baseball title for the Abbotsford Angels. We'll have that in sports. All right, Abbotsford, let's get started. It was a political bombshell, if there ever was one. BC United leader Kevin Falcon, who came back to politics, changed the BC Liberals' name to BC United, and then tried to lead them to Victoria, suspended the entire party's bid for the October 19th provincial election. Now, they had been trailing badly behind the Conservatives and the NDP in the polls. CBC reporting that BCU candidates can now side, if they wish, with the Conservatives to win the October vote. Some may even run for the Conservatives. Many MLAs were, with BCU, taken by surprise that there were reports that even Kevin Falcon wasn't answering his phone. This news came as the Premier David Eby was ironically in Chilliwack for media scrums. City News 1130 reporting that Hamish Telford, who is an associate professor of political science at UFE, says he's surprised about the timing. Quote, "Quite frankly, I've never seen anything like this in my life studying politics." The Green Party, by the way, remains in the running. So for Abbotsford Mission, Councillor David Sadu has already withdrawn due to his wife's medical issues. Merrick Matese, Marcus Delves, and Karen Long are now free to do whatever they want to politically. Attempted thefts from community mailboxes were reported in 3 locations in Mission on one day, August the 16th. 2 men in a black Mazda Miata were seen attempting to drill into a mailbox at the intersection of Barr and Richards. This was about 9 in the morning. And then mailboxes were also tampered with in the 31,000 block of Township Line Avenue and the corner of Shaw and Greenwood Drive. No mail is believed to have been stolen from any of those locations. If you see somebody trying to break into a mailbox, call 911. If you notice that your community mailbox has been tampered with, notify Mission RCMP as well as Canada Post. On the morning of August 17th, a passerby reported that a man had cut into the base of a utility pole in the parking lot of Mission Library and plugged an extension cord in and ran it out to his tent. The caller was rather concerned that the man might have electrocuted himself or started a fire. Mounties attended, spoke with the guy, said he would disconnect the extension cord. They also determined that this 34-year-old man had an outstanding warrant for his arrest. He got out of his tent, took off, running into the bushes. Officers and a police dog tracked him down. By the way, a small fire had started near his tent. That was extinguished. The fall transit schedule kicks in after Labor Day. That means service adjustments, including extra routes to connect schools and UFE. And drivers, remember that school zones go into effect Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The province is tying the annual allowable rent increase in 2025 to inflation at 3%. That is down from the allowable increase of 3.5%. The maximum allowable rent increase for 2025 can't kick in until January the 1st. Government policy prior to 2018 allowed for an additional 2% increase on top of inflation, costing the average BC family hundreds of dollars in additional rent. BC Transit and City of Mission advising customers there are going to be some changes for the Mission Exchange. Now, with construction happening near the 2nd Avenue Exchange, it's going to be relocated for the next 6 months. So buses will start using the temporary exchange by the West Coast Express station on Railway Avenue. There's going to be signs posted. Ambassadors at the closed exchange will guide riders to the new location. BC Transit encouraging you to use your UMO app or the Transit app or Google Transit or any other app of your choice for real-time bus tracking and planning your next journey. The Ovarian Cancer Canada Walk of Hope is coming up in Abbotsford on September the 8th at Mill Lake. The opening ceremony and the warm-ups at 9:30 in the morning, the walk at 10 a.m. Now, you can walk around the lake once for a 2.5 kilometer distance or twice to make it 5 clicks. The walk is Ovarian Cancer Canada's annual fundraising event. It's the only walk in Canada to direct all attention and their funds to improving the outcome in the lives of people living with and at risk of ovarian cancer. Coming up, the Angels are in baseball heaven. Sports is coming up. abbyTV Sports, it's a gold medal for the Abbotsford Angels. They beat Ontario 4-2 for the 13 and under AAA Baseball Canada National Championship. That was played in Ontario. Abbotsford simply dominated with an overall record of 6-0. Jackson Cowks kept the UFE Cascades net empty. Kevin Mayland and E.B. Igali got on the score sheet. The UFE Cascades finishing off last weekend's sweep of UNBC at Rotary Stadium, winning 2-0 and 4-1. So the Cascades now head on the road for a pair of matches this coming weekend against the UBC Okanagan Heat. That's on Friday, and Thompson Rivers on Saturday. The games 6:30 and 7 o'clock respectively. You can watch them. They'll be streamed live on Canada West TV. The third annual game for Valley Football Bragging Rights. It's a regular season BCFC game that counts in the standings, and the Langley Rams beat the Valley Huskers 27-8 in the Cascade Cup at McLeod Stadium in Langley. So the Rams are 4-1. Next game for them at home as the Rams host the Vancouver Island Raiders August 31st at McLeod Stadium. And all educators and teachers and Langley school students get free admission with your proof of ID. A late goal by Western Washington of the NCAA Division II team leading the Western Washington Vikings to a 2-1 win over the Trinity Western Spartans in the annual cross-border friendly. That was last Friday night in Bellingham. Trinity Western opens the Canada West Conference play on Friday, September the 6th against the TRU Wolfpack. That game will be in Kamloops, 7 o'clock. You can watch that on Canada West TV. The preseason continues for the Abbotsford Pilots as they take on the Port Coquitlam Trailblazers. That game Friday, August the 30th, 7:30 at MSA Arena. American Hockey League President and CEO Scott Howson announced last Friday that the American Hockey League Board of Governors have unanimously approved the mandatory use of cut-resistant neck protection for all the players and on-ice officials. And that's for the upcoming 24-25 season. So this includes the Abbotsford Canucks. Coming up, Cari with the weather. abbyTV weekend weather. So, Cari, are we expecting sunshine for the long weekend?
Hey, Fraser Valley, our gardens have been watered. The grass is back green. They are lifting the fire ban this evening, and the sun is coming back. For the foreseeable future, we're going to be in the mid to high 20s. A little chilly in the evenings, between 12 and 15 degrees, so don't forget your sweaters. But this long weekend, nothing but sunshine. Here's a fun fact for you. Canada and the United States celebrate Labor Day in September, but the 60-odd other countries that do it, it usually happens in May, for May 1st, International Workers' Day. Have a great long weekend, everybody. Stay safe. Back to you, Don.
Thanks, Cari, and thank you for watching. If you have a local news story you'd like us to report on, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great long weekend. Remember, school zones are back in effect next week. I'm Don Lehn.